Hello everybody, welcome to the Art of AI show. This is Brandon Deshaw, your host. So today let's talk about this right here, how even small banks can use artificial intelligence. And so there's all sorts of applications for machine learning and artificial intelligence, deep learning, and it's really getting to the point now where small banks can find some benefit and use out of these by perhaps getting a small internal app. We'll talk about that. So, number 5, helping internal staff out with compiling information that's needed for repeating or repetitive tasks. And this idea comes from the big wagon pulling icon of a bank, Wells Fargo. And as you can see, they have this automation section on an article that recently appeared from their chief financial officer, I think it was. And it was talking about how they can gather or they can use artificial intelligence to learn how to gather, organize, and interpret data that appears in same locations and formats over time, reducing the need for people to spend time on repetitive tasks. So basically with this type of model, what you could do is have it follow your people as they do different tasks with data gathering, and then learn what is needed to develop a checklist or an automated process to put together the information for situations that are repeated. And it can help save some energy and effort from staff. And he gives the example here. One example is using it in situations when a customer passes away. In that case, a banker would need to spend a lot of time accessing dozens of documents and systems. By deploying an AI solution, our bankers can focus on the customer while the AI systems surface all the right questions to ask and the content to review. So that's number 5, an idea of how a bank can use AI, and that's helping the internal staff out with these tasks that repeat but cause a lot of burden. All right, number 4. This is an internal chatbot. And internal chatbot means a chatbot that an assistant, also you can call it, that's inside the back office of the bank software so that employees can use it, and it can help them with their tasks. So I think that I was looking, here it is right here, JP Morgan Chase is an example of who's using this. Okay, so what they're doing is they're using bots to streamline their back office operation. The bank launched Coin. Let's see what Coin is, what this site is. Sigmoidal. And it looks like they created Coin to analyze complex contracts quicker and more proficiently than human lawyers. And so what this can do is it parses messages for employees. That's also what it's doing. But to analyze a contract, what you would need it to do is look at effective and good contracts, examples of those in a learning data set, and then develop a model to analyze contracts, and then feed new contracts into it to verify that it's following the model for good, solid contracts that the bank or business has used in the past. The other way that they're using this chatbot internally is to parse messages for employees, allow access to software systems, and handle basic IT requests. So basic IT requests are definitely an area that you're going to see grow in all business with the use of chatbots that can roam around the company software and take care of issues internally. Okay, so that is idea number 4 for even small banks. Idea number 3 is a customer-facing chatbot, and there are companies out there that are creating chatbots for financial services and making them available for placement on websites or mobile apps, and your bank may want to look into a chatbot to interface with customers to help them get their frequently asked questions answered, and also perhaps to gather information to then do a handoff to a actual human. So that is idea number 3. And idea number 2, predictive banking on mobile apps. And let's see if I can find where that was at. That was basically where, here it is, machine learning back with Wells Fargo. And they rolled out their predictive banking feature within the mobile app, and it analyzes the customer's banking activity and then sends them alerts or suggestions so they can take action to realize positive incomes. Well, what does this boil down to? Well, it's selling your customers that you already have additional services by predicting what things customers like them are interested in. And so that would involve analyzing sales data and customer data over time and figuring out what customers are most apt to buy product C once they have products A and B. And so what you do is you use your sales information to come up with a model, and then as you look at your customers and you're interfacing with your customers, you use the model to suggest the services that customers like them typically buy. So that's a predictive banking feature, and that is really can go right to the bottom line for the bank, because they are smartly selling services that their customers need. So it's a great thing, and it also has high odds that it's going to be sold to them. All right, and number 1, I think that one of the best ways for small banks, even small banks, to use artificial intelligence to the bank's benefit is to create an internal app that the loan officers use so that they can get objective feedback on the loan during the loan underwriting process. Okay, so let's walk through how a small bank even, might create or hire someone to create a underwriting app. So here is an example of some data sets that are available through data.gov that could be used to build a model. And here is a data set from Kaggle.com, which is Lending Club. So Lending Club is an online company that does consumer type loans, and they've been going from 2007 to 2015. Well, 2007 and on. This data set is from 2007 to 2015. And what they do is they use analytics to verify whether or not a customer is going to pay back their loan, and then they also offer their loans up as investments. And I've actually been an investor and invested on some of the loans that Lending Club issues. And so what they have done is they've created a massive data set. This file is a matrix of about 890,000 observations and 75 variables. So we're talking a large data set. What you could do would be to split this up into 3 different parts. The first part, your random selections you use to build a model. Then the second third you would use to test your model and tweak it. And then the third random selection from this 890,000 observations would be used to provide an overall validation on your model. So you could create a model using machine learning, data science, that would predict based on what let's say, I'm trying to scroll over here so you can see. If you look at this, so you could use inputs such as the loan amount, the term of the loan, the interest rate, whether or not they own a home, their annual income, whatever the key driving aspects are to whether or not they default on their loan. And you could feed those into a model, and then once you have your model so that it does have predictive power and it accurately predicts whether or not someone's going to default on the loan, you build an underwriting assistant tool that can be used to objectively evaluate consumer loan applications. And so you don't have any of their personal information in here. It's just the facts, ma'am, just the facts, dragnet line, just the facts. Loan amount could be one of the inputs, the term, employment length, annual income, home ownership, and then you would click a submit, and then you would get a rating on whether or not it's recommended using this underwriting assistant to actually write them the loan for that amount. So that is, I think, well within the reach of most small banks. If you are interested in getting with us to discuss consulting on these or development on this, especially number one, this internal app, get a hold of us, contact me, Brandon at brandondeshaw.com, or connect with me on Twitter, or go to brandondeshaw.com and link up with me and tell me that you're interested in something like this. Okay, that's it for this episode of The Art of AI.